Hello, it's your Rat One Encounter, Yubari Eradicate, and I'm coming at you with a update video because I haven't uploaded in a little while, and I know that my YouTube trajectory can be a little confusing to people who don't follow me on Twitter or watch any of my streams. So, and I noticed that we're slowly creeping towards 200 followers, so I thank you for that. And I just wanted to say what's going on and what's been going on. Let's move my phone away from the mic. I'll try to keep this brief because I think it'd be really sick to someday upload a video under 45 minutes long. So, let's go back a couple months to me quitting my job, more or less. So, as you guys may know if you watch my stuff, my lovely girlfriend Silva moved up from South Florida to Orlando, and the plan was in about a year or so that we're going to move in together. Very exciting. But my old job was not conducive to that plan because it was the kind of thing where, you know, for 3 years I kept getting told, like, oh, you can move up. Oh, you can do pretty much anything you want. But it was like the least anything I could do, like, it was the least you can do at anything you want kind of situation, but they kept telling me I could do whatever I want. But in order to make more money at that company, which I was making $11.20 after 3 years of working with, like, doing a bunch of stupid bullshit, and I was really done with the people that I worked with anyway. But so, you know, after all that shit, it was basically like I had to take on way too many people's amount of responsibility and then just be trapped where I live doing that job for the rest of my life if I wanted to move up to maybe $15 an hour in 3 more years. So I said, yeah, I'm thinking about not doing that. And, you know, and my boss is like, well, think about it a little bit, you know, and come back to us, let us know what you're doing. And you'll just be on, and I was like, you want me to just do as needed for the time being? He's like, yeah, sure, just as needed, you know, we'll call you maybe next week. Might have some stuff for you to do. So might have some more fucking bricks for you to move around or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. And then the next week came, and the next week came, and the next week came, and the next week came. And after a month, I decided, well, yeah, golly, I don't think they're going to call me. And so I spent 3 months unemployed. And that, so all this to say that basically what happened was, I was unemployed and I got really excited because I'm like, yeah, I have time to record stuff and finish editing the Resident Evil playthrough, which still isn't done, and I can finally finish editing and recording the Mario LP, which I don't know if it's ever going to be done. I feel like it's going to be a thing where someday me and Silva will just stream the rest of it. Maybe, because that playthrough is really just for her anyway. But now she's here and we can talk to each other and she doesn't need to, like, watch me in a video because I'm just right here. But, so I was really excited I had time for things suddenly, and I could practice Pokken, all this great stuff, right? Didn't do any of that, because basically what happened was, I got an itch one day, and I started drawing, and I drew really well, suddenly, and I had that little spurt of drawing back when I did the banner art that I have at the time of this recording, the lightning with the cat ears. When I did that, I was in kind of a little, like, groove where I was like, yeah, I'm feeling it, and I was drawing really well and getting a lot of stuff done, and then I kind of fell off again, because I just do that, I fall off of things constantly, and so, you know, during this period of unemployment, I was starting to feel a little bit more, and it was a good thing I was, because I needed to do a couple commissions to get money to eat food for those 3 months while I was looking for a job, because a lot of people say they're hiring, but a lot of people aren't hiring. And so I wasn't recording anything or playing much of anything for that period of time. And then something happened and I just burned out. And then I got this new job, which I am enjoying. It's my first job I'm actually enjoying and having a great time doing. I like all the people I work with. And so that's been really great. But then I started playing some stuff, and I just haven't felt like drawing. And anytime that I'm not at work, I'm usually playing Azure Lane, the mobile game, because that's all I really have time for at the moment. And, I've been playing Blade Strangers too, and Blade Strangers is really great. I'll probably never upload it just because I play Curly and there's really nothing for me to show. Um, but we'll get to what I will be uploading in a second. But so I've either been playing Azure Lane or at work or at Silva's place in Orlando, which is an hour from my house. So that's a commitment. That's a couple days. I'm like, okay, well, these 3 days or the rest of this week is just gone, and I can't draw while I'm there because she doesn't have a desktop. She has a laptop, and I've tried, and I just don't. It's not. I need to be sitting in my chair with my stuff on my computer, and then I need to be able to fuck around and do different shit. Like, I have so much stuff that can distract me in my room, and I need to be distracted for like 4 hours before I can actually be productive, which is weird. But I've tried drawing at her place, and it just doesn't really work out most of the time. And so, yeah, just so not a lot of drawing getting done, and certainly not a lot of recording getting done, but just a lot of kind of dicking around. But so that was my 3 months of unemployment, and then the beginning of this new job where, yeah, now I don't have any time. But moving forward, for those of you who know, if you're watching this the day that I upload it, or the day after, the September 28th is the start of the Soul Calibur 6 network test that I am certainly going to be participating in. And so that's kind of where I wanted to go with this, is that if you came here for Pokken, if you came here because of the Blastoise video, I am not done with Pokken. I'm not done with that type of video that I did for Blastoise and Zeraora. My creative process is just horribly stilted, and I go in spurts of different things, where suddenly I feel like playing fighting games, now suddenly I don't. Suddenly I feel like drawing, now suddenly I don't. Now I feel like recording things and editing, and now I don't. And so I'm really bad at keeping up with trends. I'm really bad at pursuing things that are successful, even when I do them and they are successful, and it's, I go, great, that worked out. Now let's do something else. And it's a really bad creative process. But I am going to be shifting a lot of my focus in general, as far as streaming and recording and competing and all kinds of stuff. A lot of my attention is going to be shifted to Soul Calibur 6 coming up. And that's something that obviously I haven't, like I said, if you watch the channel but you don't follow me on Twitter, or you don't know, we're not friends in Discord or anything like that, you might not know that I'm a really big, I've always been a really big Soul Calibur fan. And when Soul Calibur 6 got announced, it was like, yeah, that's cool, I'm really excited. It's been a while since a new Soul Calibur, but I had never played competitively, so I didn't really, it hadn't hit me at first. But over time, frustrations with Pokken compounding, and me realizing how much I love Soul Calibur, I'm really, me and Silva are both committing really heavily to this, and I'm going to be playing Nightmare, and I'm going to try to pick up Tira, but I realized recently that I have a really hard time picking up new characters, because I've been playing Nightmare for more than half of my life, I believe, and I've been playing Tira for none of my life, really. I kind of vaguely know her buttons in 3, but I didn't know how her gloomy jolly system worked or anything like that. I don't know any of her buttons. I started playing 5 a little bit this week, to kind of acclimate myself to her moves and what she can do. And me and Kusoge Chris played a little bit, and it went pretty well. I had a fun time. I definitely did much better as Nightmare, but I'm starting to understand Tira a little bit. And so I am going to, when the beta starts at 8 a.m. in a couple of hours, I'm very excited. It's 1 a.m. at the time of me recording this. So in 7 hours, I will be playing that, hopefully. And I'm going to be uploading mostly Nightmare, but I'm going to try to do a little bit of Tira once I feel like there's something for me to show, because I'm sure there are going to be, I'm sure there's Tira mains out there who are going to be uploading stuff. I know Mutator, the Pokken player, the Mewtwo player, Mutator, is going to be playing Tira, and I don't know if he even has a channel or anything, but if he has a PS4, I'm sure he can share to Twitter and stuff like that. But and I'm new to Soul Calibur competitively, so I don't know that many people. I don't know if Shining Decapon has a Twitter or a YouTube. I know Saigon, is that his name? Saito. I think Saito is on Twitter. So I'm sure that all these people, all the old and deep fuckers who know what they're doing, will be uploading Tira stuff. So I can kind of rely on other people to deal with that. But she is a DLC character, and she is like, hopefully she's got some, a lot of new stuff. So I will be uploading some of her, but mostly I'm going to be focusing on Nightmare, because Nightmare has so much going on now. He's got his 3 stances back. He's got new armored moves that gave him a self buff, which is a new system entirely that allows him to use EX moves outside of his soul charge. And it's really crazy, and it's really cool. But, yes, so that is where my focus is going to be. I do still have plans for other design discussion videos. The problem is just me actually doing them. I did plan on doing a Mewtwo one, but what happened was I put all the pictures together in the big collage that I do for those videos, and I looked at it and I went, this is going to be a long fucking process. Like, this is going to be, like, I have to think about this a lot, and I need to, like, maybe even do some research even, which it sounds crazy, but this is something I really need to work on, and I'm not ready to do that now, and that was like 5 months ago, I think. The Blastoise video was 6 months ago. And then my friend James said that he was going to help me out with that, because the conversational tone is really nice, but it would be a little bit easier if I had somebody to bounce off of, so that there are less dead spaces, and so that my train of thought is a little more consistent. The problem is that me and James have had kind of a falling out. Not really, like, it's not so much a falling out on his end, it's just that I don't want to fucking talk to him. But that's different reasons that I don't need to talk about in this video. But, James is a weird fucking dude. But, so I don't know if I'm going to do that video with somebody else, like do it with Silva possibly. But after that, me and Horndrill, we're going to do a one on Reshiram and Zekrom, because I think the Zekrom is the coolest ever, and I think that Reshiram's the worst Pokemon visually. But we wanted to talk about the lore implications of those Pokemon and their designs, and what's great about Zekrom and what doesn't really work for me. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure Horndrill doesn't care for Reshiram either, but what doesn't work for me as far as Reshiram. But so those videos are planned, but it's literally just whenever I get to it. And I apologize for you guys who came because of the Blastoise video. I apologize for the long wait, but it'll happen eventually. And for people who came for Pokken, the deal with Pokken is basically just that I haven't been having fun. And, I mean, this has happened before, because the way Pokken works is maybe 3 times a year Pokemon Company mentions the game. But for those of you who aren't on Twitter, recently Pokemon Company made a poll where they said, what's your favorite way to enjoy Pokemon? Pokemon VGC or Pokemon TCG? And there were a lot of us in the Pokken community who were like, Isn't there one other? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure there's one other. And so it's really fucking frustrating. It's really frustrating when your parents don't talk to you and they don't support you. And Blastoise was 6 months ago, and Aegislash was before that. Aegislash was February. I think Blastoise was June, July, April? I don't know. But the point is, it's been a little while. But what's really frustrating to me about Pokken is partially is the way it's balanced. Because Blastoise, I'll never say that Blastoise is bad. I'm like fighting my instincts to say that Blastoise is bad. I don't think he's bad, but he has too much goddamn work. And it's not worth it. Because the more I play fighting games, and I think this happens to a lot of people, but the more you play fighting games, the more you start to become a tier enthusiast, like Mike Ross. But it's gotten to the point where it's like, I played Mewtwo, right? And I got bored of Mewtwo because I didn't really, like, his game plan was just too simple, it's too cut and dry, it wasn't what I was looking for at the time. So I was excited for Scizor. I got Scizor. I made the whole video on how I was horribly disappointed with Scizor because he sucks, right? And he's better now because of his 5AA cancel, but he still sucks. But he's fine. He sucks, but he's fine. But it's like, okay, well, like Scizor loses all these matchups, but Mewtwo doesn't lose any matchups. So why am I making it more work for myself? You know, to go back to Sanford Kelly's famous little speech he gave, his TED talk he gave. Why am I making it hard on myself? We all paid $60. All of us Pokemon players have paid $120 now, plus the $15 for the DLC. We all paid the same amount. Why am I getting less out of it than somebody else? So I said, fuck Scizor, I'm going to play Mewtwo again. And then when Blastoise was coming out, I said, oh, good, Blastoise. I love Blastoise the Pokemon. He was my favorite Pokemon for a long time as a children, right? And then Blastoise came out, and I was like, he's really good. Like, he's really fun to play, and he's really good, right? And then everyone was like, yeah, Blastoise, whatever, he's a meme character, bless the reins. And I was like, you guys are so fucking obnoxious, and, like, you don't know what you're talking about. And, like, I'm looking at this character, and I'm looking at everything he can do, and I'm like, this character's really good, right? And so I dug in, and I did what I could, and, you know, I pushed. I don't want to say I pushed the meta because I'm a scrub and I don't test things, which is something I'm going to change going into Soul Calibur. But it's like, I was really advocating for this character, and I was really doing my best to represent the character well. But the problem is that Pokken doesn't reward interesting gameplay. Pokken doesn't reward, it doesn't reward anybody who isn't, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. But Pokken doesn't reward Blastoise players, and Pokken doesn't reward Scizor players. It doesn't reward Empoleon players, it doesn't reward Blazikins, or, it just doesn't, even Krogunk, as good as Krogunk is, it rewards Lucario, Decidueye, Mewtwo, Aegislash, Braixen, Pikachu, Pikachu Libre, Machamp half of the time, Garchomp, Sceptile, and I can't think of anyone else. Darkrai players do not get rewarded by Pokken. And so I got to that situation again. It's like, I'm working really hard for nothing when I could just play Mewtwo. And then I started to mess with Mewtwo's meter gain stuff and kind of being more conservative of my meter. And in doing so, I started getting burst more often. And I was having fun again. I was having fun with Mewtwo again. And now that I've been having fun with Mewtwo again, and I'm using Drain Punch more, I'm just playing Mewtwo. And so, for any of you guys who came here looking for Blastoise gameplay, I might pick him for fun every now and then. If you came here looking for Scizor, I might pick him for fun every now and then in a stream. I've done it. If I do more 3v3 streams, you'll see both those characters because I'll play those two in Mewtwo. But, like, if I go to a tournament, if by some fucking miracle there was a tournament in Central Florida, again, ever, then I would play Mewtwo because why would I make it hard on myself, right? And that's another thing that's frustrating about Pokken for me is, okay, so we have character selection, sucks, is annoying. You have the balancing issue I was about to mention was that in this most recent patch, 1.3.3, I think, I'm pretty sure, you know, Blastoise has problems. Scizor still to this day has problems. Darkrai's got problems. Empoleon still has problems despite being faster and him having a bunch of buffs. You know, there's a bunch of characters that got issues. And they decided to buff Sceptile. They decided to nerf Darkrai. They decided to buff Decidueye. And they tried to nerf but inadvertently buffed Shadow Mewtwo. So, and they didn't touch Scizor, and they didn't touch Blastoise, and they didn't touch Braixen, and they didn't touch Aegislash. They didn't touch a bunch of characters that needed buffs or nerfs. And so, I've never been less enthusiastic about a patch for a fighting game that I play. It's a joke. We are omitted from Twitter polls. The balancing is just batshit crazy. Like, it's literally a fucking, like, orangutan throwing fucking darts at a board. but he's like throwing them sideways, so they're just slapping against it and falling on the floor. Like, the balancing is nonsense, and it's been nonsense forever, but it's complete and total nonsense. And then to get into my local situation is, we've had our problems with a local TO who I'm not going to name, I'm not going to call out again. But we've had our problems with that person, and because of that one person, our locals went away, and all of our players, like, we could only get 8 people max for our old locals, like, 2 years ago, right? And so then the TO issues happened, and then we couldn't get anybody because all the people who played Pokken in Orlando were Smash players. And so they all went back to Smash, the 4 of them that were here from Smash. And then Kooky has essentially retired. I think she said she was on hiatus, but we saw each other in chat last night on a Twitch chat during one of Corkian's streams, but she's out of town. She's not enjoying it, and she's having too many like real life issues that she's just away from the game. And that's fine. That's great for her, and I'm glad that she's feeling better and she's having a great time. But that is our best player gone, And so, and not that I'm blaming her at all, because again, she's a good friend, and we did actually go hang out with her once, like IRL. Me and Silva hung out with her, and she's great, and I love Kooky. But that is our best player gone, and so best player's gone. Obscure, primarily focuses on Tekken. I guess he's trying out Soul Calibur as well, but he's a Tekken player, and he is always busy, even when there are events. So we don't see him very often. 6, I don't know what 6's deal is. 6 kind of like vanished and went to play. He disappeared. He got sucked into the ARMS universe for a little while, and then he got sucked into Blade Strangers, and now he's like really hard on Blade Strangers, which is fine too. And like this is not a call out on any of these people. This is just like where people went. But so Kookie's gone. Obscure's busy. 6 is busy. I will always show up to something if there's something, no matter how obnoxious anybody involved is, like for that one person that I don't want to deal with who happens to be TOing things even though he's not supposed to be TOing things, I will still show up to support Pokken or ARMS or whatever game I play, right? I'll go 0-2 to support the thing. But the problem is that the people trying to organize things in my area in Central Florida are incompetent. And we had 2 locals scheduled in September and going into October, right? And so the one in September was like, hey, it's happening this day. And I said, okay, what time? And it's like, oh, we don't know. Okay, well, there was just no information about it. It was just like, it's happening this day. Don't know how much it costs. Don't know what time it is. Fine, whatever, right? Don't know what we need to bring. And then I'm waiting for details, and then details come, they're shutting down because nobody was showing up to things. And I'm like, okay. So then there's the one in October, and the one in October is Pokken and something else and something else and something else, and Soul Calibur, because it takes place in like the 28th or something like that. And I was talking to Silva about it, and I was saying that basically, like, I don't know any of these people, right? And I don't like this TO, and I don't really care for the people running the event in general, who are just kind of all over the place and inconsistent and don't seem very good at their jobs. I don't want to go to this thing and lose. If I go to this thing, I want to walk away with... I want to win. Like, I'm not going to this thing to lose. And so I'm considering just not even fucking bothering with it because, like I need the offline practice and I need the offline play, but I'm not going to put myself through a stressful situation this early in a game's life cycle if I don't have to. So I don't know. But, so yes. Long story short, we've already passed 20 minutes, but Pokken's frustrating, and so I haven't been playing much, but I'm not done forever, so get used to watching Mewtwo. But there will be more Pokken at some point. Probably a little while after I play Soul Calibur. I just need, I need a long break from Pokken, and I'm really feeling Soul Calibur right now. And I don't see myself dropping off of Soul Calibur. I probably should have done this earlier in the video for people who might have left after my Pokken ranting. But if you are a viewer of this channel and you are interested in Soul Calibur 6, I'll definitely put links when I upload. I'll put mentions, because I'm not going to put like a Discord link because in case it changes or whatever. But I did start a Soul Calibur 6 Discord, and I would very much appreciate if anybody who is interested would go on my Twitter at Yubari Eradicate, and it is my pinned tweet, and it will remain my pinned tweet for a while. But yes, we would love to have you. Right now it's very small. It is myself and Silva, and my son Gino, and Kusoge Chris, and Mutator, and that's it. And my brother Ursus. But we're very small right now, but I'd really like to kind of curate my own community of Soul Calibur players. I've kind of talked about it before, but hopefully it'll expand once I start streaming the game as well. I don't think for the beta I'm going to stream it all, because the schedule is going to be fucked up. But I'm going to record as much as I can, and I'm going to upload everything that I can within the next week, hopefully. I'm going to try to not have to do a whole lot of editing so that it's more likely to get uploaded in the next week. But you'll be seeing a lot of Soul Calibur. Pokken will come back eventually. In December, I will do a little bit of Smash, but I'm not a Smash player, so don't expect too much out of that. But I am I'm very excited for Dark Samus, and Richter Belmont is my fucking boy. And whenever I'm able to do a Dracula X Chronicles stream or a Symphony of the Night stream, I will certainly do so, because oh boy, I fucking love Richter Belmont. And the design discussion videos will come back eventually. I might do one on Tira, because Tira's new costume is like the best costume design in fighting games right now. So I might do one on Tira. And I think that just about wraps it up. I'm still working on getting a webcam, but I'm trying to, I have no money right now, and I'm trying to save to move in 7 months. And I have to eat and stuff like that. So, but I do want to get a webcam, because I do want to make these videos a little more personal than just you watching Flo the whole time I'm talking, as pretty as Flo is. But yes, so once I start doing the Soul Calibur things, and once I kind of have my shit together and have some graphics and got some stuff, and do a little art, do a little something to put together and make my shit look nice and professional and stuff like that, maybe I'll run some kind of donation thing to help buy a webcam, but that's all in the future. And this is not me begging for money. It's just, I'm spitballing ideas here. So, but anyway, I'm gonna try to wrap it up here. We're gonna stay under half an hour. So thank you guys for watching. And again, follow me on Twitter at Yubari Eradicate. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Yubari Eradicate. If you follow my Twitter or just visit my Twitter, please join the Soul Calibur Discord if you're interested. We would love to have you. We have character channels for every character, and I'm posting as much information as I can with the time I have allowed to me. If you play Azure Lane, hit me up in the DMs, because I have a guild called Wet Conda, and there's nobody in it because me and Silva realized we are in different servers after the fact, and it's too late to start over now. So if anybody wants to join Wet Conda, feel free to do so. I'm in the Lexington server. This is the weirdest plug I've ever done in my life, but I'm in the Lexington server in Azure Lane, Wet Conda. We'd love to have you. And if you're an aspiring Nightmare main, me too. I hope we can help each other out. That's all. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for following. Oh, I'm also, I was on Danger Moss, Mr. Danger Moss, who shared the Blastoise video. If you came here because of him, I was on his stream, or his podcast the other day with Moxie Boosted. That was super fun. If you don't follow him, follow him. If you're here because of him, thank you. Thanks, Danger Moss. It's a fun podcast. Okay, I gotta go. It's about to hit 30 minutes. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.